Hello and welcome to lesson 2 on the unit of work that is Islam practices. More specifically, we're going to be looking today at Salah. Can I say thank you firstly to Mrs. Murray, who is making the delivery of this possible by providing me with the content, by providing me with the time in order to deliver. Secondly, can I just remind you that the platform where you know these YouTube clips even exist, i.e. show my homework, is it also has another document sitting on it, or attached to it I should say, where you will be able to find information based on all of this that I lead you through. And on those documents you must copy the keywords or terms. You must do the activities, and if you haven't done that for pieces of work that we've done previously, can I please ask that you go back and do those pieces of work. In addition to that, as always, make notes on the narrative that is about to follow on Salah. Okay, so Muslims pray 5 times a day. This is the second pillar, and they pray 5 times a day. And those, for some Muslims, those points in the day are absolutely regimented, fixed. Okay, so the first one, for example, for some Muslims would be just before sunrise, and then followed by just after midday, one in the afternoon, just after sunset, and then at night. Why do they do it? Why do they do it? Well, it shows certainly a devotion to Allah. It shows an understanding and a respect to Allah, and it unites all Muslims all around the world. So we've got devotion, it unites all Muslims around the world. And finally, it's a way, as I've alluded to just briefly there, it connects Muslims to God, even if that is just momentarily. So we've got devotion, unites Muslims, and it connects Muslims momentarily to God. That is why they do it. The how and the preparation we need to look at as well. So how do Muslims prepare? Just like you would, for example, if you were going to, friends or your nans, somebody essentially that you respect, you would wash, you'd clean yourself. And that's essentially what Muslims do. This process is called wudu, lovely name, W-U-D-U, wudu, or holy washing. You, for example, will wash various body parts, the back of your neck, your nostrils, your ears, your mouth, your arms, your hands, obviously, your feet. And there is a set ritual. So as you walk into the mosque, you will wash behind your neck 3 times, in your mouth 3 times, ears 3 times, etc. And there are symbolic reasons, for example, why you might wash your mouth is because we don't always, unfortunately, we don't always say perhaps things that we should say to people. And so it's essentially washing out our mouth. It's a symbolic ritual. So that is how the preparation is done. If water isn't available, then some Muslims will even use sand. As I say, it's a symbolic gesture of cleansing oneself, so that you are showing respect to Allah, devotion to Allah, etc. The direction of prayer there's this misconception. So we pray east. Well, it could be, yes, if you are west of the Kaaba, then the black cube. Then of course you pray east. But wherever your geographical location is, you are praying towards the black box. It could be north if you're south of the Kaaba, etc. It could be south if you are north of the Kaaba. And many Muslims therefore will have a prayer mat, it serves a practical purpose. Yes, A, it will keep them clean. They just wash. They don't want to get dirty again. B, a compass will sit on that prayer mat, so they know exactly in which direction they would find the Kaaba. If they pray in a mosque, then of course the mosque actually has a specific wall called a mihrab, which they should pray towards. This wall, the mihrab, will be the direction of the Kaaba, so there's no compass required, quite obviously. And the prayers in the mosque will be led by the imam, and there is a series of rituals, if you like, that the prayer consists of. They don't just stand here like Christians might do, or there's a series of there's a sequence of prayer. It's what I'm looking for, a sequence called raka. Raqqa. And so you will see them, for example, crouched very low onto the ground, shows absolute submission to God or Allah. This is called the prostration position. That they will look to the right, look to the left. It almost like acknowledges other members of their community. So how are you doing? How are you doing? And it is very much before and after the prayer, at least. There's a lot of emphasis on community and building a cohesive community within 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 the society that they live. So we've got why they pray, DUC, in the sense that it shows devotion, it unites, and it connects them to Allah. We've looked at the direction in which they pray. We've looked at what they do in preparation. So what I'd like you to do is make sure that you are clued up with what Salah is. Fundamentally, what is Salah? Prayer, prayer, prayer. Secondly, wudu. What's that again? Something to do with water and all that stuff, washing, purification, ready for prayer, shows devotion, etc. What's the wall called? You know, if they're praying in a mosque, what's that called? Mirab, I heard you say. Good, good. And there's one other word. It's called the Qibla wall. Now, the Qibla wall, the wall in which in a mosque that contains the mirab. Okay, so the mirab is the wall in which you pray towards, and that will be the direction of the black cube, the Kaaba. But the mirab specifically is this arched kind of thing that where the Qibla wall is, and all prayer is directed more specifically at this arch. Sometimes contains the Quran. Sometimes the Imam will lead from this particular, from the arch. Guys, good luck. Take notes. Make sure you copy the key terms and do the activities. Thank you.